Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Monson here with a Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course, the Portugal Club, where we will go for Portuguese citizenship test question 71, folks. Yes, 71. Also looking forward to talking to Fred Phillips later. That will be a recording. You won't be able to join us for that, but you will be able to listen to that when it's published tomorrow for the Resident Podcast. Fred Phillips, founder of Atelier de Sol, one of Portugal's most respected creative communication design consultancies down there in the Algarve. His first encounter with the world of design came at a very young age in the late 1950s when he starred in a black and white Kellogg's Cornflakes television advertisement in the UK. Wow, Fred! An early experience that sparked his lifelong interest in visual storytelling and the broader field of communication design, including advertising. And he moved to the Algarve in 1973. So it's going to be amazing talking to Fred and finding out what life in the Algarve was like in 1973, everybody. You think you've been here a long time? Fred, 1973 in the Algarve. So we'll have a chat with him. And that will be published tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. And don't forget, of course, the news review with Natasha Don, also published at 3 o'clock, but on the Friday. Check it out at the Portugal Resident, or just simply The Resident YouTube channel. Right. Yes, and on our YouTube channel, the quiz from last night. Thanks to those of you who joined us yesterday evening for the rerun of the Portuguese wine culture quiz that I was going to say performed live, shared live at the wine tasting on Saturday night. It was great, and Ben and I went through it. In place of our usual Find Your Home in Portugal real estate program, we had a bit of fun, kickback last night. I was going to say, yes, I had a glass of wine. We usually do that when we're doing the real estate show. But very good to have Ben's company. Pete was there as well. Thank you very much for being there, and Michael and Catherine. And if you want to go through that at your own speed, you can find that now as an additional course or quiz at the Portugal Club as well, which is where we're going to head now. Let's do that Portuguese citizenship test question 71 this morning. The big news for Portugal, which we'll come back to and dwell upon and chat with you, go through with you, is the bones of the bacalhau, as it were, is this news that Portugal has the best economy of 2025, according to the Economist. Let's unpack that. They're saying it's as sweet as a Pastel de Nata. I wonder what you think about that. Before we go there, Portuguese citizenship test question then 71. Which dance is associated with the Minho region? Is it A, the Vira dance, not Vera as in the lady's name, but Vira? Is it the Corridinho, B, or is it the Fandango? See, can anyone actually dance the Fandango? Here, I wonder, in our Gumper community. I suspect there are a few. Definitely, we've got Happy Feet Austin, haven't we? Who you'll see in action on Saturday night at our big Gumper gathering, our Christmas party. Other people popping up saying, is it all right if I come along? Of course it is. There's no admission fee. You don't have to book. You just have to show up and have a good time this Saturday night, the 13th, at the Casa de Lem cocktail bar. And, well, there's a hotel above as well if you want to stay the night. That's the Albergaria de São Pedro here in São Martinho de Porto. And they have a lovely cocktail bar on the ground floor, rooms above, very reasonable rate, good breakfast with one of the best views looking out over the bay here in São Martinho de Porto of all. And a well-kept secret, I have to say. So let me just share this with you on the screen. This question, we'll just do it one more time. The Portugal Club citizenship test question of the day today. Let me bring that onto the screen for you. Are you seeing that? You should be by now. Yeah, 71. Question 71 then. Which dance is associated with the Minho region? Have you been to the Minho region, for that matter? Is it A, the Vira? Is it B, the Corridinho? Or is it C, the Fandango? How are you doing this morning? Do let me know in the chat. And we will be having a look at that news about Portugal. Oh, thank you, Kate. Just 18 minutes ago. Let's have a look at Kate's meme of the day. This is definitely becoming and I haven't looked at it yet, so who knows what she might have been sharing with us early this morning. Thanks, Kate. Definitely a feature of the Portugal Club, and let's share it here on the Good Morning Portugal show as well. It's time to switch my regular anxiety for my festive holiday anxiety. Yes, why do we do this to ourselves? It's bizarre, isn't it? It'll be lovely, all that effort just for a few hours. But I mean, there's always good and bad to everything, isn't there? There are some wonderful things to do with the festive period. But when it comes to this, getting anxious about it, would you say your anxiety, your festive anxiety, or as Kate's describing it here in the meme she shared with us, and we do like this El Arroyo sauce. Is that a Texan? Is it a Texan restaurant, I wonder, that puts up funny memes and probably was doing this before memes were even a thing? Yeah, I think T Duck will know who El Arroyo is. But would you say, looking back over your life, and I don't mean to sound too maudlin or morbid, but has your Christmas anxiety got better or worse? Are you thinking now, are you like increasing numbers of people? Oh, I can't be bothered. It's just it's just another day. Now, on the one hand, I can understand that. It is just another day. But then when we say things like that, oh, it's just another day, it also takes away the magic, isn't it? It's a bit like weddings. The most recent wedding I went to, weddings aren't what they used to be. This one was. The one I went to was an absolute extravaganza. And it was so beautiful because when people call together their friends and their community for a special occasion, something is possible, isn't it? In the ritual and in the invocation of what the intention is of that event. And maybe the same thing can happen with Christmas, which if we don't preserve it and honor it and love it, we'll lose, won't we? If we just see it as another day, it'll be like all the other days and it won't be special by definition. We do need specialness in our lives. And I think we probably need even more specialness at the moment than we've ever needed. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Are you like meh, grinchy about the Christmas, and you're thinking, I don't need all that trouble and strife, I'm going to give it a miss? Or are you thinking, okay, well, I'll manage my stress, but I'll also make sure Christmas is very special as well? El Arroyo is a Tex-Mex restaurant. I don't think I've ever been there. I knew you'd know that. Wow, physics, impressive. What did I? Oh, okay, hold on a minute. That's Andero. Nothing I've said this morning. Let's come back to that, Andero. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? And thank you, Kate, for that. However, the reason I was over there at the Portugal Club, this is like my aid memoir, actually. I've realised if I post things here, I could just pop them up on the screen as I'm doing now. And we will look at this in just a moment after we've said hello to everybody. Yeah, Portugal just won the Economy of the Year 2025, according to The Economist. Let's find out what they're on about over there at The Economist, but not until we've said hi. Good morning to you, Welsh Jackie, bon dia, Carl and Gumpers. Nice and early at 7:40. That's early for us. Good morning, everyone. Gemini, how you doing? Thanks for popping in last night on that wine quiz as well, Gemini. Bon dia alegria. I still can't believe it, Gemini. You're not too fond of the sparkly white here in Portugal. It's been a new lease of life for me with the booze. I've never been that much of a boozer, honestly, but I just love how the Portuguese go about it here. A reverence, a respect, sort of a patriotic duty almost to know about their booze, to enjoy their booze, to share it with other people. And one of the delights of that has definitely been the espumante, the white fizzy that they do here, especially in the Bairrada region. So, yeah, I've been delighted. New lease of drinking life for me here in Portugal. Bon dia alegria, Gumpers from T-Duck. Bang on 8 o'clock this morning. And morning, Gemini. Where's our Chris and his Capricorn Chronicles this morning? No TFL tells today. Hope he's okay. It might just have been all too much for him, and he just thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm staying at home. I'm working from home. 60, because he does make quite a sacrifice, doesn't he, for his bosses? I hope they realise that, sticking his nose in other people's armpits every morning. 16 degrees centigrade and raining in Lisbon this morning. It is mild, isn't it, T-Duck? And it's peeing down. Kaishi Gatosh here on the Silver Coast. It's at times like these where I think there can't be any more water in the sky. Seems to have been raining from the moment I got up right through until now. And I had to wear a hat to work for that small, like you see the raindrops still on it. Look at the size of those raindrops. Yes, I didn't realize that. This is my hat that I'm known for, the hat guy, the hat expat. Hat the expat here in San Martino de Porto. And I thought, I need an umbrella to get to work. That's just from the back door to the back door of the garage. And I thought, okay, I'll put a hat on. There it is. There's the hat that I wore to work. Just a few meters. But the size of those drops of rain. Come on. That's what they're spraying out the back of them planes, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Bon dia. T-Duck, how you doing from Jackie? And we went for a 7-mile walk yesterday, staying home today. Those calves are tingling a bit this morning. None of my business. Bon dia from Sarah as well. Sarah, we'll actually, you know what? We'll play that video now. Thank you for that. It's hilarious. The welcoming of the Santas in Stubble, the Stubble Santas, living the dream. Yes, in this in this weather, it's peeing down here on the cut. The canal was cut by hand, so we call it the cut. Okay. Isn't that amazing? They don't know they're born. And I'm still telling my kids about all those years and hours I worked in the soot factory. Not one of them has said, "What are you talking about? What is a soot factory?" They just hear it as a sort of indistinct moaning about something or other. Is he talking about soot again? But cutting, that's what I'm going to tell them today when I feel like they're a little bit ungrateful. You don't know how lucky you are. We had to hand cut a canal to get to school in my day. That's amazing, Jackie, isn't it? Hand cutting of the canal. And it must have been the most amazing moment when they realized, okay, I think we're ready now. Cue water. Or maybe it just peed down like it is here and the canal was soon filled. But hand-cutting canals. Oh, and talking of transport, got a great video for you from the new Mondego transportation system. I still can't get over the fact that it's called a tram or a train, but it's actually a bus. And we'll see the bus going through a level crossing. And it's the most weird thing. It's like vehicles go across level crossings and trains go through them, whereas cars and other transport go across this and buses go across it in the other directions. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. 7 miles, Tita. I bet that was amazing. Did you get a taxi back or did you do a round trip? I wonder. I can dig it. Yeah, that's what the canal workers used to say, I guess. Yes. Can you dig it? Well, we better get on with it here. And we're a bit behind schedule and we need to be meeting them up at the Grand Union in 3 days' time. 7 miles is a common walk for Mr. and Mrs. Duck. Bon dia from a very windy Miranda de Corvo. We've been on the Feijoada again, have we, over there? Good morning to you, the Bartons. Bon dia todos in this rainy terça-feira. It sounds like it's piddling down all over Portugal this morning. Maybe we should have a look. Hey, yes, we haven't had a look at the weather for a long time, have we? And we don't need to, do we? When we're having those 300 days of sunshine, nobody cares. But it's at times like these where we are a little bit more concerned about it. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Chuva de Malta, or Chuva dia Malta, a rainy day in Aveiro as well. Sorry for the big pause. I just had to get rid of something there. Watching my daughter do her presentation for her master's in physics today. Wow, interestingly, they all do their presentation in English and the board do all their inquiries in English. Is that the international language of physics still, I wonder? It was very interesting, was it not, to see with the FIFA draw. Much of that, a lot of it, especially the interview questions, were in Spanish. How long? How long do you think until the USA is kind of 50-50 like Wales is? You know, where you see Welsh and English signs together. It's not long, is it, before the Spanish is? I mean, it is the second language, presumably, in the United States. How long until you really see it being sort of shoulder to shoulder with English in the United States? I wonder. Okay. Mel's here as well. Good morning to you, Mel. How are you doing? Simply Live Mel, bon dia to you. And Borada from Peda this morning. How you doing, Peda? Good to see you. And we're always grateful for your Welsh lessons as well. Have you got one for us today? Love Christmas and the true spirit and doing kindness, but hate the commercialism it's become. Yeah, tricky one, isn't it? I guess that's the way of things in our world. But that's all coming to an end, isn't it? Well, it is according to the videos I watch on YouTube. Interesting times with all the economic forecasting. And that's the context, is it not, for the conversation we'll be having about Portugal winning, I don't know, rated as the best economy of 2025 by The Economist. I notice the award is not for the best society, although it could be a contender for the best society. And I was wondering, with this economic accolade, is it a sort of, you know, where we are with economics among the Western civilizations, is it least worst at the moment? We'll come back to that in just a moment. And El Arroyo is in downtown Austin. Avoid Austin. She's very nervous. Oh, Bossort, you'll be fine, love. I think she's going to be great. Send us Gumper good wishes, as long as that doesn't make her think what. But certainly all our very best wishes to your daughter Andera and her presentation. What's her particular niche? Because we're a smart bunch here. I mean, maybe we can help with her physics presentation. You never know. Red wine. I was trying to get everybody to sing that at the karaoke on Saturday night. Red wine, Neil Diamond, and then covered by UB40. Little old wine drinker me. What other karaoke hits might we play that are wine related? Got soaked walking the dogs. Yeah, it's wet, as did they. They're not so bothered about it though, generally speaking, are they? Dougie also here. Oh yeah, good luck for her from Antonio F. So yeah, lots of luck and love and best wishes from all of us for the physics presentation. Please do pass that on, Andela. Electric tailgates are a bad idea. I accidentally pressed the button and then in the dark hit my head on the damn thing. What are you talking about? Electric tailgates. What is an electric tailgate? Electric the boot of your car, the trunk, and pushing a button or waving your foot around, doing a soft shoe shuffle under the car to get it to shut down. I accidentally pressed the button. I sliced my forehead on a parcel shelf. Stay away from the back end of vehicles, everybody. You hit your head on the damn thing. 8 hours at Portimao Hospital instead of being on my flight. You'll do anything to stay in Portugal, clearly, Dougie. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Last injury I heard like that was Bobby O'Reilly. His missus shut the boot, thinking he was well clear, and crunched his bonce with the tailgate. There are a lot of blood vessels, aren't there, close to the skin, on the thin skin of the head, and that's why these injuries and accidents can look so bad. Quite the gash, then, possibly down there in the Algarve. Sorry to hear that, Doug. Stitches, proper ones that leave you with a nice Action Man type scar, or some of those newfangled sticky ones. I wonder. So 8 hours in Portimao Hospital. What was it like? Tell us about your experience there, if you will, Dougie. And Ashmaluris, get well soon, my friend. We walked a bit, and thank you for all those pictures of your Volvo. We walked a big loop down to El Corte Inglés, then over to the Christmas market at Campo Pequeno, and then up to Sporting and back home. And what a fantastic story you shared with me yesterday. Can we have some? Can we have some wine? Do you want to relate that? Please, here, T Duck, your wonderful anecdote of wanting to enjoy a glass of wine in one of the stadiums. This morning's show as well, courtesy of Vodafone. We've switched from Mayo to Vodafone, thinking of getting the what's it called? What's the Tesla Wi-Fi, or Elon's Wi-Fi? Starlink. Thinking of getting a Starlink as well, but I really can't decide whether to get the installation or the mobile. If I get the mobile, presumably, of course, I can use it at home and then take it on tour when we do an outside broadcast. But what are the pros and cons? Is anyone using mobile Telstar, or whatever it's called, Starlink, compared to the permanent installation? Can you let me know on that? But so far, a seamless, hitchless transition, and very quick it was too. I guess once the installation's already there from one of the companies, it's easy for one of the others to come and steal its business. So that was a very easy transition. It wasn't meant to happen until this morning. A buzz on the house buzzer yesterday. Any chance he could do? I mean, it was all in Portuguese, of course, and we struggled along and we got there in the end. It was great. And, you QR codes now, very easy to get onto your new Wi-Fi. But great job. Lovely man. Popped round, changed it over, and I've switched over my ancient Mayo box, which they wouldn't change from me, the type so-and-so. So that was part of the reason I shifted. I wanted an upgrade on my Digibox. And they said, no, we can't just go give willy-nilly giving boxes away if there's nothing wrong with it. I think I'd stayed at an Airbnb and I thought, this new Mayo Digibox is nice. I'd like one of these. Asked if I could change it. Nope, you can't unless there's something wrong with it. So over to Vodafone now, and the Vodafone box is very nice. A really nice, doesn't feel cheap at all, the handset. Intuitive to use, and if I'm watching a YouTube on the phone, cast it onto the screen. Very, very good. Happy with the move from Mayo to Vodafone already, I have to say. So thank you, Vodafone. This show coming to you courtesy of 1 gig fiber on Vodafone. And my lad says the upload and download speeds, he's able to test these sort of things. He says it's an improvement. So here we are, coming to you courtesy of Vodafone this morning. Don't want to be hoist on my petard, having mentioned all of that and then suddenly experience a load of problems. No doubt somebody will say, hey, it's a bit glitchy at my end. Well, there's probably a cream for that. My cousin's kids go to a Spanish school in the UK. As it's the best school in their area. The whole curriculum is in Spanish in the UK. Amazing. That'll be a nice gift to them for the rest of their lives. To be able to speak Spanish around the world. Not here in Portugal, of course. I still have to do my building woof calculation who is this? For my German engineering professor. So much English required in STEM classes. So it would appear that in STEAM, physics, science, English is the global lingo for that. My electronics professor says I whack a discipline. What? Lack discipline may be there. M. Oliver, are you the great correspondent that gave me that really good bit of feedback on the abandoned buildings of Portugal? Yes, I think you might be. And I appreciate, yes, it's you. I'm going to read your message to me in just a moment as well. After we've done the greetings this morning and we've had a look at Portugal being the best economy of 2025. I'm sure you'll have a view on that as well. Well, I'm sure everyone's got a view on that. But Mario Oliveira, could you please give me your view on that? Portugal winning best. That makes it sound like a dog show, doesn't it? Best in breed when it comes to the economies. Some weather then, same weather, same storm in Cymru Fach. There's no need for that sort of language. Bon dia, all you holiday festive gumpers. That was, the holiday rather than the holiday from yesterday. Did everyone enjoy their Immaculate Conception yesterday? We don't give each other stuff anymore for Christmas. We give each other time together. That's nice. Plans for bike rides together, dinners, etc. And we have people over for breakfast. A big improvement. We're thinking of doing the Portuguese dinner on the Christmas Eve and then just having a hanging out day on Christmas Day. I've got work experience on Boxing Day. I was rotated for Boxing Day. I don't think that's ever happened to me in my whole life. Maybe when I used to work in a shop years ago. But Boxing Day is a bank holiday and it's sacred in the UK. None of that here in Portugal. So I may well be in a retail situation in my real estate work experience. On Boxing Day. Yeah, that's nice. And I was watching one of the best Ian McGilchrist. Who? Ian McGilchrist, what a lovely man. I was watching one of his best interviews. It was a properly made film, actually, by a woman whose name I forget now. South African woman. She'd interviewed Desmond Tutu in her time. She made a comparison, actually, during her conversation with Ian McGilchrist. I do commend him. And hers is an amazing film. Which is probably the best introduction to Ian McGilchrist's work I've seen. When he talks about the hemispheres of the brain and how we've got a left hemisphere takeover and the right hemisphere doesn't get a look in. What is it? The Matter with Things and The Master and His Emissary, I think, are the titles of his books. Reason I mention it is because he was talking about how I think the right hemisphere has the ability to attend to things. The left hemisphere is always judging things. It's the world we live in predominantly, isn't it? Judgment, judgment, judgment. It's either this or it's either that. And this harsh worldview. And we seem to have lost touch with the more spiritual, ethereal, numinous side of the brain, the right-hand hemisphere, that attends to things. And he says it's the most precious thing to give your attention to things. It's a sacred act to give your attention. And you've hit the nail on the head here, Sarah, to give your attention to each other as a Christmas gift. I mean, literally, that's your presents, isn't it? You're giving presents to each other and you're attending to each other. How beautiful. So sorry to hear of that, Doug. Please heal quickly. Yeah, Dougie. With your electronic, what did you call it? Your electronic boot. So you pressed the button accidentally. And it shouldn't come down so fast that it can give you a clonk on the bonds, but clearly it did. I bet you screamed out, didn't you, in the car park? I would try to get to Obidos Market at 5:30 Sunday night, utter bedlam, no parking left, even at 5. I stay away from Obidos, I really do. I mean, it's probably best to go there on a Monday morning, isn't it? Monday mid-morning would be my guess, but you know that, Mel. Okay, this is great. We went to the mall inside. That's what we call it, the mall, isn't it? Malls, shopping mall inside Sporting Stadium last week. Sorry to Benfica fans. You can you lost friends immediately there. That's the left side of the brain, of course. You can actually see inside the stadium. Very cool. They have a sunlight lounge in there, we discovered. Nice looking place, comfy chairs and couches. We walked up and asked to be seated for a few glasses of wine. They started laughing at the sunlight lounge at the sporting stadium and told us it was a tanning salon. Brilliant. Very good. Thank you for that, T-Duck. Telstar. They should have done it anyway. You know that film. Did I ever show that of the Portuguese guys rocking up and getting lunch somewhere in Brazil, only to find out, I think probably at the sobremesa course, that it was a private house. They'd asked for lunch and they were given it, but they thought it was a restaurant. There were people hanging out there having a good time, having a drink. They thought it was a restaurant. They rocked up and asked for lunch. And it was only later on in the meal that they were told, this isn't a restaurant. This is our house, but you're very welcome. They should have given you some glasses of wine, I think, and then given you the glasses, and you'd have thought, hold on a minute, why have they given us these little shades like swimming goggles? And why are they giving us bathrobes as well and saying we can change over there? This is a kinky sunlight lounge place. We only wanted a couple of glasses of wine. 28th anniversary to date. Congratulations. My husband Lewis is the love of my life. Oh, I had a little bit of a moment there. That's lovely. Oregonians loving Portugal. The OLP. Congratulations to you both. 28th anniversary. I nearly said 35th because that's the Ducks. Is that next week? The Ducks, your 35th wedding anniversary. But today, the 28th anniversary of the OLPs. Mr. Senora OLP. Happy 28th anniversary. I always ask people who've been married for more than, 3 years, what's your secret? What is your secret? Having being married to the love of your life, of course, is quite helpful in this regard. But what is your secret, OLP? And thank you for sharing that with us. But Beige, lots of love to you. Have a very special day today. They used super glue. It wasn't my own car. It was a hired one. Portimao, I hope you haven't lost your deposit with you leaving your hair and skin on the back of the car there. They took a long time, but they did a thorough job. Never seen such a clean ward. You could have eaten your dinner off the floor in there by the sound of it, Dougie. So you've got your wound super glued. Wow. Happy anniversary. I'm also married to the love of my life. Oh, you guys, we're coming up on 35 years. Isn't that fantastic? And that's fabulous. It is. What is your secret? We just installed Starlink yesterday. We did not go with the mini or portable. We went with the standard version. Were you tempted, though, Mike, to go for the mini portable? Oh, there's three other. I'll make it even more complicated. There's the mini, the standard, and the portable. Okay. All right. Still no clearer on that. But let us know how that goes. We're going to see much more, aren't we? And I think there's a Starlink offer probably going into the new year as well. But loving the wedding anniversary vibes this morning. We give each other gifts when we want, not according to the Hallmark calendar. Been doing this for decades. Yeah. You get my point, though, right? Whenever the bath water is thrown out on something that we've got fed up with, and of course, why wouldn't we be fed up with the commerciality of the Hallmark calendar, as you put it, T-Duck? So many things have been hijacked like that. We are in danger of losing the original beauty of these things as well. Hopefully they can be preserved whenever we give each other gifts at any other time of year. The one negative with the Mini is the router is built into the dish, which could reduce Wi-Fi coverage based on where the dish is installed outside your home. Ah, okay. So if I keep that close to me in the attic for the new studio, that might be okay. I like the idea of portability. Tailgate. The tailgate didn't come down fast. It was open. I didn't realize it. Oh, that was a surprise then, wasn't it? It was in the pitch black, so I walked into it. I'm very clever. Yes, you needed a physics undergrad to help you with that, potentially. Hola, bon dia from Capricorn Chris. He's here, everybody. He may have a chronicle for us. World Traveller 161 Mike. We've thought about getting a Mini as an alternative and for emergencies. Let us know how it works out for you. T-Duck, you and me need to talk about that, don't we? We've got a Welsh lesson incoming, by the sound of it, Antonio F. With greetings there. Thank you, Antonio F. Love it, man. Your quiet, steady, and considerable presence in our community is much beloved, and we appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done this year. I'm sounding a bit like the year is drawing to a close. That's what I've been writing about this week for the Portugal resident. It's a little bit gloomy and doomy, actually, as a first part. I'm in the left brain part of my assessment of 2025, the apagao, the shenanigans politically with citizenship and residency, the football, of course. We did have some bread and circuses as well. A new pope. I go over those things and look at the factors that I think are going to be important, not only in 2026, but this next 5 years, the second half of this, I think, epochal decade. And next week, the right brain, more of the light, and rather than the heat, I think will be written about for next week. But it is that time of year, isn't it, when we look back, see what we might leave behind, see what we might carry forward. I think a lot of what we'd like to leave behind, actually, from this year, will inevitably be carried forward by the powers that shouldn't be and the global energies. And so it's really important, and it connects, I suppose, to the joy and the beauty of the holiday period, the light of the world, that we have ways of connecting with that, not just at Christmas, but for all the time, whenever possible, that we remember that life is good. And Christmas time is one way of refamiliarizing ourselves with that, right? And a nice little infusion of goodness to carry over with us into the new year when old acquaintance might be forgot. Eira, Portuguese Eira, threshing in Cymru in Welsh, although we shouldn't use the words Welsh and Wales. They mean foreigner, as was pointed out to us by Peda. Eira is the threshing floor, and Eira is snow. I failed to see the connection there. Maybe it's because it's snowing ears of corn when it comes to Eira in Portuguese, and snowing in Cymru over there. I won't say Wales. The secret is tolerance, compassion, and understanding. That's the secret of life, is it not? As much as it might be for a successful wedding. Very good. Okay, so it's either the permanent installation and the mini and the portable are the same thing. So that narrows it down a bit. Hit that like button, folks. Cheers, Antonio. We did not consider the mini. Okay, you just went straight for the installation. I didn't know about the mini. T-Duck, let's take a look at that. And Nina's here. We were gifted the best bifanas in the world in Porto yesterday. You met up with Frank. Oh, yes. We were gifted the best bifanas in the world in Porto yesterday. How lovely. And there's talk that Frank might be at the party on Saturday. I'm so excited about that. However, with Frank, I'll believe it when I see it, Frankie, by the legendary Frank, before we picked our friends up from the airport. How lovely. You met up with Frank. I'm so glad to hear that. How was he doing? Tales from the train. And here we go. A Capricorn Chronicle. We will return to talking about the economy in just a moment. Tales from the train then. Tissues out. Runny noses everywhere. Yes. And of course, everybody with an added air of health terrorism. It's the worst flu virus since the Garden of Eden, and etc. etc. The flu terrorism is in full effect as well, of course, isn't it? Wear 3 masks. Get all your jabs and everything before you even think about getting out of bed. It's in full effect. That's the background, is it not? For you, Chris, there. Tissues out, runny noses everywhere. Today is the story of the oversized suitcase on the train during rush hour. Yes, we love an oversized suitcase or a big backpack on the train in a rush hour. I felt sorry for the owner trying to maneuver said case around the passengers. We love totally. We discuss totally. We disagree kindly and forgive each other unconditionally. Oh, we are soulmates, at least in these souls. Screenshot. There you go. That's amazing. Thank you very much for that. Both you and T-Duck for your excellent advice to anyone embarking on marriage. And that, again, that's not an easy institution in the times we live in, is it? So anyone getting married needs all the help they can get and support and love. Oh, yes. Can I show the photo of a spotting of the lesser spotted Frank? And he took you to the best Bifana place. He knows these places. Is it all right Oh my goodness, I've never seen a Bifana like that. As the actress said to the bishop, am I allowed to show these? Sent you a photo, and he did say he was coming on Saturday. Amazing to meet him in person last. What a legend. I'm taking it that it's okay to share these photos then with you. Lovely to be hanging out with you this morning. Loving these photos. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, they've ended up in the folder from yesterday, but I spotted them. Okay. 3 shots then from Henry and Nina. Come back to those as well. Just want to conclude the conversations. Although you're keeping me chatting this morning. I fear tyranny over terrorism. Aren't they the same thing? I mean, that's the point I'm making, T-Duck. Is the tyrants use the terrorism, do they not, to get you to do the things they would rather you did? Usually for profit, the rascals. But love that. Now, what a contrast, talking about the powers that shouldn't be in the use of terrorism and tyranny. And here in the hallowed and sacred home of the relationship and love, we totally love. We love totally. We discuss totally. We disagree kindly and forgive each other unconditionally. We are soulmates, at least in these souls. And you know what? I have taken a screenshot of that. I love that that sentiment, those sentiments, and I have been a marriage official. I'm not a licensed, religious representative of any kind, but people have asked me to perform wedding ceremonies for them. And you know what? I would quote this, OLP. I would say a good friend once said to me, on the secret of their happy marriage is that we love totally, we discuss totally, we disagree kindly, and we forgive each other unconditionally. And I would commend that to the newlyweds as a way of operating. How lovely. Show the pics. Show the pics. Okay, all right. Well, you never know what's going to happen on this show. I didn't realize I'd be showing your Bifanas this morning. Oh, and there it is then. There's Frank. Look, Henry and Nina, let me just take the the sign saying show the pics. I am showing the pics. There, Frank in the background, of course, there. About to take you to your date with destiny, and Bifanas that look like, well, they don't look like this yet. I'm going to show you what they look like. But you're doing the Congo, are you? Or the Conga? Is it the Conga? Casa das Bifanas. And this, my friends, is what a Bifana looks like. It's all about the presentation and a splattering of Bifana gravy on the plate. This is the sort of place Frank likes. The thumbprint on the glass that you get with your water, or probably a cerveza in Frank's case, right? And is that a piece of cheese on a Bifana? I'm having a sudden difficulty with that. I'm sure it's delicious, but I've never seen that. I'm finding it hard to compute that. So Bifanas with a slice of American cheese on top, is that what's going on there? Or is it a solid sheet of Bifana gravy? I don't know. You're going to have to help me out with that, but how lovely. No, thank you. Thank you for that, OLP. That's lovely. There's all sorts going on in the chat this morning. Wales means foreign place. Welsh means foreign tongue. Well, it is to us, to be fair, Pedder. Welsh, the people, foreigners, from the Saxon word Walish, meaning foreigner or outsider. And I think I got called that. When I was in Wales once on holiday with my family, I remember a Welsh kid coming up to me and saying, visitor. Maybe that's the Welsh for foreigner, visitor. It's not a normal Bifana. No, they don't include cheese. So Frank is taking you off-piste there. And was that a slice of cheese? We're not finding out yet. I'm struggling. I need to be put out of my cheesy misery here. Do let me know. Right, I did promise some discussion. And if somebody tuned in, I think this is one of the pitfalls of the Good Morning Portugal experience. If you tuned in to find out about sweet as a pastel de nata, Portugal's economy, according to The Economist, and you thought I'd be talking about that just after 8 o'clock, I'm so sorry. It's taken us 38 minutes to say hello and good morning and hang out with our pals here before we could even start discussing. Do you know what? Maybe there's an AI agent for this. Tell me when Carl and his mates on Good Morning Portugal stop saying hello to each other and having fun and hanging out, and they actually talk about the advertised subject. The advertised subject is ready for you now. Let's go to it then. And the Portugal winning the economy of the year 2025. Somewhat bizarre, I would say. And let me just park up the comments for a moment. Yeah, and of course, as the panel says there, please let us know about your Portuguese pains and pleasures. A lot of pleasure this morning, I think we've been talking about, including bifanas with cheese on. If you've got any challenges you're facing, this is the place to chat about it, folks. Oh, comments on the screen as well now. So let's go. Whoop, excuse me. I feel it's almost as though I've been eating a bifana with cheese. Hiccuping, or had 3 glasses of wine, or whatever. For the first time ever, excuse me one moment. I hope you didn't hear that. For the first time ever, Portugal tops the magazine's annual ranking. Who doesn't like an annual ranking of the 36 largest advanced economies, overtaking last year's winner? Spain was last year's winner and leaving powerhouses like the US, Germany, or Japan far behind. I think this is the same kind of shock tactic that Jaguar used when they brought in that new advertising agency. Let's go beyond the orthodoxy and do something a little bit different. We'll definitely get more clicks and hits if we do this. Sorry to be cynical, but come on. Portugal cannot be the economy of the year. I guess depending on what the criteria are, right? It's not gonna be size, is it? And it's not going to be the economy that best looked after the poorest and most vulnerable in society, because that ain't happening at the moment. The president said so, but let's find out more. For the first time ever, Portugal tops the magazine's annual ranking then. And we'll go to the Portugal resident for a bit of commentary on this. What made the difference? Well, I hear you ask. Stronger than expected GDP growth, projected at 1.9 to 2.3%, well above the Eurozone average. One of the lowest inflation rates in Europe. A soaring, these are all relative, aren't they? And some might say not the best markers for sustainability and equality and equity in society. But anyway, I'll continue. One of the lowest inflation rates in Europe, a soaring stock market, the PSI 20 among the best. Is that what we call it here? Is that what our Dow Jones is here? The PSI 20 among the best performers globally in 2025. Record tourism numbers and foreign investment, attractive tax regimes, pulling in high net worth individuals and digital nomads. Well, in many ways, thank goodness for this, that our economy is as sweet as a pastel de nata and that the people come from all over the world to enjoy it, just like they do with the pastel de natas. And fair enough, those are the criteria. And we are perhaps performing better than other countries in that regard. In the words of The Economist, Portugal combines solid growth with tame prices and a buoyant stock market better than any other rich country. Some might take issue. It's all relative again, of course, with Portugal being called a rich country, especially if you're at the arse end of it and struggling and using one of the food banks. You probably don't feel like you're living in a rich country then. From the country, and the most recent food bank collection was down, wasn't it, on previous years? I mean, it was a good show. Well done, everybody. Of course, let's not diminish anyone's efforts on that to get everyone fed. But they were down. They were down on their numbers, I believe. But still, yeah, cracking effort. From the country that was bailed out little more than a decade ago to the best performing advanced economy of 2025. There you go. As lifted from X last night with a commentary from the tax guy at Cryptax PT. Is the originator of that text, as cut and pasted and shared with you over at the Portugal Club. I'll put a link to that. Why not follow? If you find that useful, why not follow Cryptax PT on X there? Very keen to know what you think about that. And we'll go to a bit of mailbag action as well, talking of the abandoned homes. Mario was here earlier on, sent me a bit of correspondence on that. Obviously, when you talk about abandoned homes and the reasons why they are such here in Portugal, you're likely to get some correspondence, which I did, and I'm grateful for it. Not a normal Bifana. Let's find out. Oh, the dirty Bifana story. Sampled one standard Bifana and one cheese. Very good. They are quite good, but standard the best for sure. Okay, so you did prefer the non-cheesy. I guess that's a little bit of a marketing thing, isn't it, for visitors and tourists? True, with the cheese, you won't feel its true taste from Antonio there. Very good commentary, very fair. We had one with cheese and one without, both amazing. The 50-odd people queuing outside was a good tell also. 50 people queuing for Bifanas. Yeah, that is a good tell. Carl, do you ever see the lady playing music you had on your show over Christmas 2 years ago? Do you know what? I've never met her in real life. She's played for us a couple of times. She lives in the Algarve, and we haven't met in real life. The Belters, Emma Belter. She sang with her adult son out of her caravan. Yeah, Emma. If you want to look up Emma Belter. I'll put that into the chat, and do say hi. And that you remember seeing her on the Good Morning Portugal show. She is a wonderful person. Really got a lot of time for Emma. You're right. You recognised a sweet soul there, OLP. And Dano, we did a Bifana cycle tour the other week with the Aveiro Cycling Club. Great fun. Many thanks, Hawk, for that. Is he your leader? The Economist used 5 criteria: inflation, deviation from inflation target, GDP growth, employment, and stock market performance. Yeah, and I guess fair to say Portugal performing well with those criteria there. They need a measure on how comfortable the elderly and sick are. Absolutely. As well as the others. It doesn't need to be instead of, does it? It doesn't need to be either or. It doesn't need to be all left brain. We're right, you're wrong. This is good, this is bad. Yeah, we're intelligent enough to have a rounded conversation, but conversations are becoming less round, aren't they? They're becoming more singularly pointed, as it were. If they're round at all, it's one single pinpoint of an idea that's this is better than your idea. I agree completely, Mel. How about some other measures as well as those criteria that you very kindly found for us there, T-Duck? It's a true measure of society, how well the most disadvantaged are treated, as well as how well some of the best performers are doing. Why not? Smash that button. T-Duck there, smash that button. Thanks, mate, for that. Okay, let's go to the correspondence. We got a jingle for that, haven't we? Got a really nice, I don't know if it's really nice, a really interesting message from Mario. But before I play that, actually a little bit of a state change, and then we'll go into the jingle for the Munson's mailbag. Oh no, sorry. I thought this was the welcoming of the Santas. It could be that bus, train, tram might be full of Santas. You never know, but that's what it looks like. I like it. The Bartons may have been on this. That's the Metro bus route. It is a road solely for the use of the bus that leaves Coimbra and heads out into the countryside. Let's watch that again. I think it's great, and it is hallmarked in the town by those by the pink tarmac. Who knew pink tarmac would be a thing? And there's a lot of it in Coimbra now because of this Mondego bus, the Metro bus they call it, and there it is on a level crossing. How often are they going through there such that they block off the route for everybody else? I want to ride on it. I want to have a go on there. Maybe that's an outside broadcast opportunity to do the entire show from Coimbra going out into the sticks. And from Setúbal now, from Setúbal. That could well be the arrival of the Santas. Right? Wow, that's a lot of Santas right there, with a real one step forward, hidden in plain sight among the others there. Biker Santas then in Stubble. I think that was from you, wasn't it, Sarah? Have you got a bit of more background information on that? The sound and smell of two-stroke. Yep, absolutely. Definitely Pink Street. That's where maybe they got the idea from in Lisboa there. Oh, is this a weather forecast incoming as well? I'll come to your correspondence in just a moment, Mario. You're right. That's the true measure of a society. It's hard living with sheepdogs and mountain dogs in this winter, while still keeping the house presentable in case one suddenly gets a viewing. Yes. Have you got the baking bread and coffee aromas ready? there, Peda, for your viewing. Actually, send us the details. If you'd like to buy a dream home in Wales, land of the foreigners, Peda is happy to sell you his gaff, or maybe enter into some sort of timeshare thing where you can have a house in Portugal and a house in Wales as well. Cymru. Some people, morning Adrian, are still waiting over 2 years to be registered at my local health centre, and even then, no guarantee of being allocated a GP. Economist interested in whether good for the well-heeled, etc. Well, possibly that's one way of looking at it, Adrian. But they have their particular criteria. I mean, it is called The Economist and not The Sociologist. Sociologist magazine would have entirely different criteria. But why do they have to be so siloed and separate? Where are the big views of the issues of our world? The 10th and the 11th supposed to have a snowstorm. It will add to our 5 inches. Who doesn't like to have their 5 inches added to first thing in the morning? Thank you for that. Beautiful setup there, OLP. That worked like a charm. All roads from Coimbra are designed to make you feel ill. Too many bends. You're not over it, are you, Pete? Doesn't get out to me in Logo de Deus, which is, what's that? God's plan, Logo de Deus, which is the outskirts of Coimbra. Oh, Sturgis. What? Emma Belter. No, not who's Sturgis. Biker Santas are a tradition in Texas. I imagine going around doing good, the Biker Santas as well. We used to have a little bit of that in Devon in the UK. They used to get a load of presents and take them to the kids' hospital as well. Biker Santas. Right, mailbox then, and maybe a little bit more commentary then on the Economist Award for Portugal. Sweet as a Pastel de Nata. Where's the Munson's mailbag? Here it is. So we had in... actually, yes, that reminds me. There is a Munson's mailbag feature at the Portugal Club. You're very welcome to communicate with me over there. This came in, however, via YouTube. Thank you very much, Mario, for this. Oh, I've got some good memes to share with you as well. This is funny because we talked, of course, about abandoned homes and why this might be so many in Portugal. Not as many as in Japan. 9 million abandoned homes in Japan. Not that many, not hardly that many people here in Portugal, let alone empty homes. This is funny. They're in Italy too, I heard. I think it's because the people died. And I think you're probably going to die too, says Mario. I don't think he's being smart or unkind. It's true. It's true. Newsflash. So it's probably not the best economic plan to build tons of housing for old, dying people in a rush. I guess, yes, this was... you make an interesting point there. Why would anyone buy sheltered, supported housing for people who aren't going to use them for very long? Well, other people will be getting old as well too, Mario, to be fair. But you don't think it's a good business model. However, you go on to say, my grandparents lived there. This is rural Portugal, where you see most of the abandoned properties. They lived there until they died in their 80s. Living in the house, you would probably say it was abandoned. So they lived in one that looked abandoned. They didn't have running water. They had a pump. They started to put in indoor plumbing. When was this? Was it the 80s? They started to put in plumbing, but abandoned it because they said it would just be for us and we wouldn't go there except for every 5 years. It was a house their parents lived in from the late 1800s, but them not needing much help and taking care of themselves gave their children the opportunity to move abroad. They could have kept everyone there and had them worship old people, but the people were different then. It's boomers versus World War II and Great Depression people. Boomers are trying to die broke, while Great Depression people save the last drop of toothpaste. Portugal is full of durable goods like olive trees, cork trees, and vineyards. It still has the beaches, it has livestock. That's what they would spend all of their time doing, and not house stuff. Yeah, they were too busy, weren't they, to be flipping, tweaking their interior design. British have a Victorian culture, Mario continues, with servants and wallpaper. Yes, exactly. That's what I had to give up to come here, my servants and my wallpaper. I'm not over that either. Portugal is more working culture, agrarian and fishing. Actually, that's why I wanted to come here. Also notice that they don't have South Africans trying to kill them or Aborigines trying to kill them because they did their own work. So it wasn't a ticking time bomb of destruction like it may be becoming now. Wow, like it may be becoming now. That's what you should be asking. Why aren't people trying to kill me here? I'm not used to this. I'm English. Normally people hate me. Wow. Happy to share. Happy to share. Again, that's part of the discussion. I think you make some good points in there in your typically brilliant Portuguese way there, Mario, if I may say that. I don't mean to be patronising, condescending or stereotypical, but there is definitely a direct way of Portuguese communication, and we felt it right there. And I think, to be fair to you, you make some good points. It is a good question. We're settling here, and we are able to ask the question or be grateful for the fact that people are trying to kill us. So thank you for that, Mario. Lots to squeeze in these last 4 minutes. I'm torn here in a biblical way. I've got a few memes to share you. I think suffice to say then, that over at the Portugal Resident, there is a response to Portugal being as well, its economy being as sweet as a pastel de nata. The Minister for the Economy and Territorial Cohesion, yes, there is such a thing, Manuel Castro Almeida, has given a frank interview today confirming that Portugal has outdone itself in terms of other countries economically this year, but continues to be a country with enormous inequalities. Well said, that man. He's not just basking in the glory, he's stating the bleeding obvious as well. So that's good to know and to see. A few cheerful memes then this morning. I can't quite see what I've got here, so I'm just going to put it on the screen anyway. Terrible maps here, based on a study by Carl Douglas in 1974. This is where everybody was kung fu fighting in 1974. Did I show it before? I'm not unhappy that I'm showing it again, quite frankly. That was my temperature conversion. We don't need that so much at the moment. It's very mild, but that's because it's raining and we're having so much rain. What time is dinner usually eaten? You didn't have your bifanas at this time, I know, yesterday, but at 9 to 10 o'clock dinner time in Portugal. Well done, you guys. Look at that. In the UK, our servants with our wallpaper behind us would have brought us tea or supper at 6:30. 4 o'clock in some parts of Scandinavia. But I guess, yes, it's been dark already for 5 hours by 4 o'clock in parts of Scandinavia. But well done. Possibly the latest dinner time in all of Europe. Lover of geography, anyway, says this. 9 to 10 o'clock here in Portugal. And I think we did that last night. Fish finger sandwiches. Oh, yes, we like them. And that was after. Yes, it was. It fitted in with Lover of Geography's assessment there. This is nice. Thanks and we haven't seen Mama Bear for a while, but she posted this yesterday. If you want to believe that the world is terrible, watch the news. Check. Yes, verdad. If you want to believe that the world is incredible, spend time in nature. I feel better just reading that without even being in nature. However, if you want to believe that it rains all the time in Portugal, spend time in nature also. What's this? Oh, European exports. This connects nicely, doesn't it, with our economic report this morning. Germany, UK and France, as you might expect, top of the UK exports. But look, Portugal showing its face at the bottom there. We've only got a tiny country with a tiny population, but still punching well there. From the bottom of the chart, but well done, Portugal, on that. And yes, look, the Portuguese Advent calendar also connecting very nicely. It says, I planned it, with the description of the economy being as sweet as a pastel de nata. Very good. What's this one then? Oh, yes. Going back to talking about how we might approach the new year, whether we're left brain or right brain, I think left brain is the warrior, is it not? The judge. Worrying, or the hemisphere, is using your imagination to create something you don't want. Let me just read that again. Worrying is using your imagination to create something you don't want. Well spotted, Esther Hicks. Thank you for sharing. And this is an economic reference of a kind, I suppose, the economy of love and relationships, if I might be so bold and a base, really. Love is not, I guess it is it's a kind of deal, isn't it? But it has all those numinous and wonderful ethereal edges to it. If you're looking for a relationship and you're a single man or a single woman who likes other single women, you might go to Riga in Latvia. However, what caught my eye here, not because I'm looking for a single woman, but because I thought you might, as my daughter says, Dad, you've got a wife. Anytime there's a picture of a scantily clad woman as we're walking past a billboard, and I go and I look, as you do, everyone looks at that, don't they? He says. Daughter says, Dad, you got a wife. Now, if you are looking for a wife, you might look at Porto, but also Lisbon, and Funchal, and Coimbra, and Braga. I think there are far too many Portuguese places, cities, European cities here that are Portuguese, that would appear to have the most single women. Why would that be? Mario, if you're still here. Antonio F., why would that be? I wonder. And that reminds me of Gregory's Girl. Do you remember that? Those lads were going to go to Mexico, weren't they? Because there were more men than women in Mexico. Wasn't that part of the plot there? It's 9:01. The reason I'm still here is because we're having so much fun, and you're keeping me with your comments. And to be fair, I didn't start, I think, until 2 minutes past. And quite frankly, I don't want to go back out in the rain. So you've got me for a few more minutes, whether you like it or not. Chris, are you at work yet? And where did we get to in the chat there? Motorcycle fun runs, Big Tony. Oh, Biker Santas, that's where we got to. Happy to accommodate, Carl. That was Saturday. Yes, that was Stubble with the Bike Santas. I'd read about the Biker Santas in the newspaper and thought we'd missed it. Husband Steve and I went for a random walk, and there they were. Pal Zay and his daughter were in it. That's fantastic. Portuguese pals there. We're fine, thanks, despite the rain. Yes, Big Tony's weather report there. We've done the Santa motorcycle run before, great fun, and I think we've got documentary evidence that coming through on 913-590-303. Thank you very much. Are these your Santa biker pictures here, your very own Andero? Could well be. Yes, not looking very Santa-ish there. Or is it a different one? Maybe you're part of it. Maybe you ran into a telephone booth box and got changed like Superman. Or are you showing me your Bifanas there? Love it when people show me their Bifanas. Okay, where did we get to? Thank you. Yeah, no, igualmente. Obrigado. Thank you from me. It's been great fun this morning, talking about all sorts of things. Sounds like airports need these to have them something on them to make them glow in the dark. Adrian, what are you talking about? A glowing Bifana? One never knows, worth a punt. Okay, this is the timeshare option, I think, possibly there. Have you ever been to Tokyo? It's possibly the most miserable place and backwards place we've ever been. That's a shocker, isn't it, Pete? The coach is in as well now. A bit preoccupied this morning. So sorry, I'm late on parade. Hope everyone is well. Have a wonderful day. Hope you're okay. And we're sending healing vibes to Dougie, coach, who gashed his head on his tailgate. Nobody likes a tailgate gash. The only bonus is you can eat whilst you're smoking. What are we? What's happened now? The conversation's literally fallen apart and gone off on too many tangents to be sustainable, possibly. I need to move country. Is that the single women index that I was reading out there? Yeah. We went to some good bars, but the fact that you can hire a mum, dad, or even children is an indicator of a failing and dying culture. Yeah, that's quite the Uber service. One of my brothers was visiting Tamar Saturday to Monday, so he visited him Sunday to Monday. Museums all on strike on Monday. Oh dear, not a great time to come and enjoy the museums in Portugal. Didn't think about that when we were talking about it. And convenient for national strike on Wednesday. Is that not Thursday? Anyway, yeah, we all have to go now. Must go now. Sorry to keep you all. Have a good terça-feira, everybody. See you over at Portugal Club or back here tomorrow. I'm off to prepare for my interview now with the wonderful Fred Phillips. Looking forward to chatting with Fred. That will be published on the Resident podcast tomorrow. Have a great day, dear friends, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. You all deserve a round of applause. Well done. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need